All of the pitfalls, the dangers, the existential horrors of Gen Z summed up in this one video. What's up, boys? My name is Easy, Charlie, whatever you want to call me. Welcome to the channel. We're going to run over these things. I talk about them all the time. Like, comment, subscribe. We're going to do this right now. One take, probably not one take, but anyway, let's go. So, doom scrolling. Look, I was at 6 hours a day and I needed to get those numbers down because if you took all of those numbers, all of those hours of doom scrolling, and if I put them towards something actually useful, then maybe my parents might love me. Maybe you can relate to that. Look, I tried like blocking apps, time blocking apps. Those worked for a little bit for me. But the fact of the matter is that no amount of apps or changing settings on my phone, which the grayscale thing does help by setting your phone screen to where it's only black and white, then you like decrease your phone use by 30% because the colors and whatnot are less addicting and like less zapping your brain like an iPad kid. I talked about that in the last video. But anyway, the only way to really get through this is to solve some of the core issues, which is you need something either like better, like an overarching goal to do, like some work that you're really addicted to, more addicted to than your phone, or you can do that'll come later, but you can start out with this, which is replacing the urge to reach for your phone or to doom scroll with quick, this double inhale that I do. It's a two-part inhale. You inhale very quickly through your nose into your belly, then into your chest, and then a very long exhale. That's the key, is the very long exhale. The inhale sounds like this. Then the exhale is very long, like for like over 8 seconds. That's the minimum, okay? By doing this, you're activating your parasympathetic nervous system. That is your rest and digest nervous system. Basically, instead of stimulating your brain, taking that urge, what we're going to do is we're going to replace you reaching for your phone. Like you get that urge, we're going to replace reaching for your phone with that breath right there. Guys, I do that breath like 100 times a day at least. I am a free dive instructor, which basically means I teach people to use their breaths so that they can dive really far under the water on one breath, no scuba gear or anything, just one breath. So that's kind of my bread and butter. But you can do this. You can replace that reaching for your phone with some quick breathing. That's kind of why I call this place easy breathing, because I mean, I just love breath work and everything it can teach you and how it can guide you. The loneliness epidemic. I don't know about y'all, but especially around the I was getting very lonely. And luckily, I've been able to kind of work my way out of that. And I've set up systems and social circles and a way of life where I'm not lonely anymore. I have a healthy community around me, a bunch of friends. But I understand how that's not the case for everybody and how it can be difficult to learn how to manage knowing that you're alone. But what's the first step that I actually take to like be less alone? Well, first of all, here's what's going to happen. The pain of being alone is going to have to outweigh the pain that you feel when you go out and try new things and put yourself in situations where you're going to be meeting new people and making new friends and pulling the trigger. Because it isn't until you get so fed up and like rock bottom with, wow, I haven't seen another human face in however many days. Like, this is unbearable, until that outweighs the discomfort of you going up and talking to people, joining fucking run clubs, going to the gym, making a community there, just looking up meetups in your area, or do what I love doing. If you watch the channel, you know I love going out, working crazy jobs from like Workaway or any of these other websites. These are all websites that have job listings that are super interesting and attract very like-minded, adventurous people. So workaway.info, not sponsored, but if you're lonely, I promise you taking one of these jobs is going to fix it. I swear to you. All right. Number 3, the mental health crisis. So this actually kind of ties into the first two, doesn't it? Depression, anxiety, they're all sky high despite life getting like factually better in a lot of ways. Like world hunger is way down, violent crime is way down. Loneliness, anxiety, depression, all of that is still way up there. Okay. And it can be very difficult to get yourself out of those headspaces. Okay. I was in one, honestly, not that long ago. Okay. Like I travel and I work cool jobs a bunch too, but I was still in a headspace where I was like, holy hell, why am I in this headspace? And that's when I was on my phone for like 8 hours a day. Like I'm in this beautiful location with beautiful people around me, but I'm still not really feeling myself right now. I'm like going to the store and just buying Cokes and then buying hot dogs. And those were my depression meals, boys. I don't know what your depression meals look like, but that was mine. And the only way to really get over your mental health crisis is to do the same things that everybody says and then some. Okay. You're going to get in shape. You're going to get in the sun. You're going to sweat in nature. Okay. I guess not everybody says these things, but sweating in nature, that's huge. Focusing on your breath, that's huge. Minimizing your screen time, that is huge. Okay. And if you are at a point where you don't know, like in terms of direction of what to aim for your life, and if that's contributing towards your mental health crisis, then you need to go get one of these crazy ass jobs. This is what I preach. If you want other answers, if you want like another way of looking at things, like an easier band-aid to put on these problems, you can go to another channel. I'm here to talk about actual solutions for the boys because I want y'all to live badass, adventurous lives. Okay? No more doom, no more gloom. We're on the come up, all right? From it's so over to we're so back. All right. And then that brings us to corporate hell. Now, I'm lucky that I never really did a super long dealio in the corporate world. I've worked like shitty jobs, that's for sure. I've worked sales jobs. I have worked in IT. I have worked in property management. Yeah, I know what it's like. Oh God, in delivery driving, don't get me started. I know what it's like to work a shitty job. It's soul sucking, it's soul crushing, and you need something to point yourself towards that is beyond that. Okay. You need to read, you need to write, you need to explore your inner world and what your actual personality is. You have to figure out who you are so you can get a direction for where you want to go. Because, hey, maybe you actually do want to start a business. Maybe fuck that business. Maybe you want to go out on a road trip forever. You're not going to know the full answers to that with confidence enough to pull the trigger until you really figure yourself out outside of the corporate hellscape that you're in. So, the way to do that is you need to focus on your breath. Again, these are the answers because they're true. This is what your caveman ancestors looked for answers. And all of the anxieties that you feel come from your amygdala. Okay? So, how did our caveman ancestors deal with stress from the amygdala? They did breath work. They got in nature. Okay, that's when their stress responses were at the minimum. They knew that they were safe when they were having deep breaths, they were getting a good night's sleep, and they were in nature in a relaxed state of mind. Okay, that you're operating on the same hardwiring as they were. So you need to get good sleep. You need to focus on deep breathing, not shallow breathing, because you're not because otherwise you're just sending signals to your amygdala, to like your ancient nervous system, that things are not okay. If you have shallow breath, if you're darting your eyes around everywhere, if you're in this fight or flight mode constantly, never allowing yourself to enter a rest and digest mode properly, then you're just constantly going to be stressed. Okay, I'm on a ramble right now. Dopamine addiction, it's the same thing as doom scrolling, isn't it? Okay. You need to find a higher calling, settle yourself into your nervous system, become like not a scattered, shit talking doomer individual. If you're on your journey to trying to figure out who you are in this optimistic light of the world, that's good and that's going to be a challenge. But in order to do that, you're going to need to find the joy in the little things, which means getting excited about like paying attention to a plant. Dude, I saw a hummingbird today that was just chilling around. Like, and we made eye contact like 2 inches from each other. And I was like, oh, what's up, little birdie? And that was a beautiful little nature moment that actually made me excited. You know why it was capable of making me excited? Because I wasn't reaching for my phone thinking about whatever fucking Moist Critical was arguing about, whatever situation he said was getting insane. Okay. Enough Moist Critical insane situations, more hummingbirds. That's what we're getting at. Porn and shame. I'm actually going to skip this one, I think, because I don't really think I can deal with the porn aspect of that. I never really struggled with a porn addiction. Obviously, I've watched it, but it was never really a problem in my life. I don't watch it regularly or anything like that. But in terms of shame, that's just going to come from a radical self acceptance. changing the voice in your head to saying, you know what, fuck these people, fuck if they think of me, fuck these people, fuck whatever they think of me. If they don't like the shit that I'm talking about right now, then fuck them. That's kind of what I'm doing with this channel, right? Like, if somebody sees this that I know, and I just don't give a fuck. I also have like a real life face channel that I'm not posting on as much, but maybe I should to further practice this. You should just be unabashedly yourself, which is cliche to say, but hopefully you're connecting the dots here of the type of work that I'm mentioning with these past categories, how I have found that all of these can be dealt with using your breath, using sweating outside in nature, living a life of adventure, and honestly, fuck this corporate American soul sucking car based world. You should go live in a walkable city somewhere. Figure it out. Go find a job in a walkable city. Make stuff happen, okay? Because nobody else is going to make this stuff happen for you, boys. The life that you want is probably not going to be just handed to you. You're going to have to get on up, get out there, start making stuff happen. Okay, now in terms of debt, that is the next one. Okay, debt sucks, and it is not a fun thing to pay your way out of. However, you need to find a way to get your money up. That should be where all of your emotional energy goes towards. If you are in a shitty headspace, if you're in a great headspace, whatever way you are at any given moment in any given day, your focus should be on how do I get a job, work more hours at my job? How do I flip stuff from Facebook Marketplace? How do I learn to flip cars? Maybe I can learn an online skill that can pay the bills. Maybe I can find random jobs on Craigslist that are going to help pay my bills. Maybe I can sell my PC. Maybe I can do any of these things. Ask on Facebook in your local groups, like, is anybody hiring? These are my skills. I can do this. Go walk into a fancy bar, learn some social skills, and get hired at a really fancy bar where you're going to get tipped out hundreds of dollars a night. Okay, these are all things you have to be thinking this way. If you're in a doomer mindset or if you're in an I'm broke mindset, you have to start taking these weird swings, different swings, outside of the box swings. You're not going to get these results that you want unless you start doing the things that you haven't done before. Okay, so that's all I have to say about the debt bit. Okay, now the boomers versus us. They're not going to get us, okay? They're going to have their jolly old they're going to have their jolly old rich guy laughs and playing their golf after buying their currently worth $4 million homes. They bought them for $20,000 and raised their kids on a minimum wage salary. That's that's not going to be us, okay? And you should look to anybody older than you who is capable of giving you advice, who might be in a position that you want to be in. Find them and listen to them. Obviously, there's always going to be a huge disconnect there, but you have to look to the ones who are able to guide you. Whether that's like, I don't know, your dad, uncle. There's plenty of boomers out there in the community who actually know that things are not exactly in favor of Gen Z right now. And they don't just say, oh, work harder, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, son. And if you can find those cats out there, then sky could be the limit. They could actually mentor you and help you be like, look, I know how hard it is for your generation right now, but I can be here, help you navigate this. This is what's worked for me. Maybe this is how it could work for you. But in terms of actually connecting with them just on a day to day basis, put on a smile, put on, give them a little chuckle at their corny ass jokes, and then just go on with your day. All right, boys, that was an off the cuff one. No scripting on that one, but hopefully you got some insight there. I really just want to hammer in these messages that I have, and I want to get feedback on them. I'm not getting enough feedback here, boys. So please leave your comments. Let me know what you think. I want to hear at least one person tell me they tried that breathing exercise that I mentioned. That's 2 breaths in, 1 breath out. That's very long. All right. Let me know if y'all have any questions. Let me know if I helped you. Let me know if you hate me. I'm all ears, man. Let me know. All right, boys. This has been Charlie, aka Easy Breathing. Peace.